Hey guys, thanks for watching Nerf Socom Reviews. Today we're going to be bringing back the Which Should I Get series. First of all, instead of having it by different sets of Nerf guns, by pistols, rifles, SMGs, and heavy weapons, instead we're doing it by Zombie Strike series, Elite series, Mega series, Rebel series, etc. So first of all, we are bringing back a couple of the old guns that are 2013 though. These are all 2014 except for the Hammershot here and the Sledgefire, because these we did not have in the previous Which Should I Get series. So let's get started. I also should mention though that there are two repaints in this series. The Zombie Strike Longshot CS-6 and the Clear Shot are both repaints, so they are older guns. We did have this one in our previous series, but it's a repaint of the Zombie Strikes. We're having that in here. First of all, we'll start off with a short review on each gun. Let's start with a Clear Shot here. This gun, basically how you use it: load a dart in the front, you prime it from the back here, and you pull the trigger. Very simple. Most of them are basically the same like that. This one does come with a nice scope here, which is really awesome. I think that's the biggest reason why you'd want to buy this gun. The range isn't that good, but the accuracy, it does make up for that with this one. So for the double strike here, this gun, it doesn't have the best range. It's not really the best gun out of these, I'd say. It's one of the lower ones. The only good part about it is that it can shoot 2 shots, and it's a little bit better than the Jolt, I guess you could say, but there's not really much, there's not much to this gun. So now let's move on to the next. We have the Ricochet here. It is a Vortex gun. This one, it's very difficult to use actually. You have to put the dart in there, then prime it back, and then you shoot, and then you push it forwards, put the dart in there, and then prime it back. It's reversed, so you can't prime it back and forwards per each dart like these other guns. If this one does not have the best range, not that good. Also the accuracy is bad because sometimes it'll weave to the side. It's not that good. I wouldn't recommend this one. The Rip Shot here, I get confused with these names. This one also acts the same way as the Ricochet here. Basically the same thing, except it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit different in size. The sight on here is a little bit different, and it can hold 4 shots in the front. Actually 3 shots in the front right here. And it has a guard grip. So basically the same thing as this one. Same range, same accuracy. Alright, so now let's move on to the next, the Sledgefire here. This gun is very cool. I would say this gun comes with 3 shells. So what you basically do, you load the shells with 3 darts in each. I'll just put 1 here. You can actually put 1, and if you do put 1 dart in, instead of it putting all the power on all 3, it'll put all the power on just 1 dart, which is kind of cool. Which makes the range increase with this. That's how this gun works though. You just pull this down, load a new shell into it. This does have 3 shells with shell holders back here. So you can have 2 in the back while there's 1 in the gun. Sadly, I don't think they sell them separately, so you can't get extra shells. There is a railing on the top here, and I think that'll be all for this one. For the next, we are going to get the Side Strike right here. This one, what's cool about this gun, has the nice holster that you can put on your belt on either side. And this is also reversible, so you can have it this way or this way for a cross draw or a quick draw with either hand, which is something that's really cool about this gun. This gun does have the same effective range as the Fire Strike, I guess you could say. Very similar. It has decent range, I'd say. Really good accuracy. Normally the pistols like this one are really good for that. This does have 1 railing in the bottom, 2 ammo holders on right in here, and that'll be all for this one. So for the Hammershot here, this gun, how it works, basically you use the primer you can just use it with 1 thumb, or if you want, you can do it with the other. Normally you would load your dart first and then prime the gun, so you know, the barrel rotates when you pull the hammer back. But then you pull the trigger. Very simple. The range and accuracy of this gun is really good, better than most of the rifles. It's very similar to the Side Strike here, maybe a little bit less in the range, but this accuracy and everything is pretty close, which makes this gun one of my favorites because it's really effective in battle, and you can reload on the go because you can just put darts in the front of the barrel very easily. This gun does have one rail on the top, so you can put a sort of attachment on there if you wanted. So now for the Crossfire bow. This gun, basically how it works, you pull the prime back, and only load your darts first. You can put up to 4 in the front. There's 4 right there. Then you pull the trigger, basically. Very simple, very easy. This bow right here is detachable. Like when you get it in the box, it is detached, so you have to put this on yourself. Very easy. But normally, I don't want to clip it in all the way because it's a little bit. I'd say the gun is almost better without it because you're a little bit more. You have more mobility with it off because it's kind of in the way. This does not obviously pull the primer forwards any faster than the spring does on the inside, so it wouldn't help with the ranges at all. This gun does have the 4 shots, though. You can just pull this, shoot, pull this, shoot, pull this, shoot 4 times without having to reload it, kind of like the Hammershot or whichever. This does have a stock adapter. I think it is the only zombie strike gun so far that has the stock adapter, so you can put your own gun right here, or your own stock right here. So that's one thing that's nice about this gun. For the next gun, we have the Fusefire. This is another Vortex gun. It takes Vortex discs. Basically how this one works is very cool. You insert the discs in here. You load, I think it is 5 discs into here, and you can pull this back. I guess I can demonstrate. I don't have any Vortex ammo. You pull this back, it'll load it. You push it back forwards, or you just let it slide back forwards. It'll load it automatically into there, and you can pull the trigger. I don't have discs again, so I can't shoot it. But then because there are 5 in the internal, it's like an internal magazine, you can just pull it and shoot it, pull it and shoot it, which is really nice. And you can also add more ammo while you're in the game. You can just slide it into the back. This does have, it looks like 5 ammo slots for the Vortex discs right here, so you can fit your extra ammo in there, which is really nice. This also does have the light up system right here, as you can see. This does come with some white darts, so the darts will glow when you fire your darts. So that's something that's really nice about this. You can have glowing darts. It's kind of cool. This does have the one railing on the top here where the lights come out, basically. We have the Sledgefire, another one of my favorites, I have to say. This one, it does come with a 6-round magazine. It's a CS gun, so it uses the CS clips, which is kind of cool. You could use a drum mag in it if you wanted. How this gun works, you load the mag. Well, you push this forward, load the mag up, push a dart in here. Then you insert it back in, pull this back forwards. Be careful that when you have this gun, if you pull this back, you could smash your finger, which is kind of a bad part. I did that a few times when I first got this, but I got used to it pretty quickly. Then you pull the trigger. Very simple, very easy. This gun has some pretty decent range. Not as good as, say, the Hammershot, for example. Almost around the same as the Crossfire here, but it works pretty well. I like it a lot. To remove the mag, you pull this forwards, and there is a trigger here for it to release the mag. And it's a loose system, which is kind of nice. So the mag should, if I can pull the button, it should normally fall. I need to get it ready. Yeah, the mag will fall if you pull the button back. While some of the older guns, they don't actually have that available, it seems. This does also have the DJM area right here, so you can easily access your darts to pull the darts out. It does have the railing on the top here, so you can put your sight, like the sight that comes with this gun here, or whatever you want on the top there. So now for the Zombie Strike Longshot CS-6. This gun is a 12-round, holds 12 rounds. It comes with a 12-round mag. I just didn't have it in there. Basically how this gun works, well, you pull this back, you load your mag. Obviously, I'll put one in there. Right in there. And then you push this forwards, aim it, and you pull the trigger. Very simple, very easy again. It's very similar to the Sling Fire. It uses the mag, so you can have your own drum mags or whatever put into here, which is really nice. This gun is a repaint. You probably do know that. I did mention the first part. So this is basically the same gun as the older one, and the internals are. So the ranges aren't that good, since the older guns, they don't have the best ranges compared to the ones today. So I wouldn't really recommend it for the ranges that this gun has, but because this gun is so big and it has a lot of interesting parts on the inside, you can modify it a lot, which is something that I really like about this gun. I've modded mine just a little bit to make it a little bit better, but that's one thing that I really like about this one. In the repaint version, they did not have a bipod and the gun that has the attachment on the front, but they did add a new repainted scope that is orange, which is pretty cool. This does have the adjustable stock here. As you can see, this does sometimes collapse, so if you hit it in or if you prime this back, sometimes it'll collapse on you, which is kind of annoying. This does have the railing right under the sight here, so you can add any other sight or whatever if you wanted to, and you can use this on your other guns. Okay, so for the final roundup of all these guns, I'm gonna say there are about 5 or 6 of them that I do not like very much. They don't really compare to the rest of them. Those being the clear shot here, not the best. It doesn't have the best range. The scope is nice, but I wouldn't recommend it. The double strike range is not that great. It's 2 rounds. It's not that great either. Also, the ricochet and the rip shot here, both about the same thing. They both use a Vortex. Not the best ranges, and well, the ranges can get far, but the accuracy, it goes off a bit, so it doesn't really make up. Put these down here. We also have the Sledgefire. This one I wouldn't recommend getting as well because of these guys here, the shells, because you have to reload it each time, which is very difficult, and the range is not the best. I mean, it is a shotgun, but you can't get the best range. The fuse fire, also not one of my favorites. I mean, it is a pretty good gun, I'd say, because it has some decent range. The accuracy is pretty good, but it is a Vortex gun, and Vortex guns have a lot of disadvantages, like the darts are very slow, so you can easily dodge them. So I'm going to put this down here. And so that leaves us with the Hammershot, Side Strike, Sling Fire, Zombie Strike CS-12, and the Crossfire bow right here. This guy here, the ranges on this aren't that good because it is an old gun. So I wouldn't recommend getting it. If you are going to mod it though, I would recommend getting it. But because for the purposes of these guns being raw, I guess you could say, I wouldn't recommend getting this as much. Down from here, we have the Side Strike and this one. These ones are basically tied for me. They kind of are, at least. The Side Strike has more range on it and accuracy by far, but this one has more ammo per shot, and it's a little bit more cool looking. I'm going to put these both down here though, because I think the ending 2 winner guns would definitely be the Sling Fire and the Hammershot. And the Hammershot here, very good range. So has the Sling Fire. They both have decent range. This one has the magazines, so you can swap them out very easily with other magazines. You can use bigger ones, which is very nice. It also has some quick firing with this lever here, which is pretty cool. And I mean, as long as you don't smash your finger, you can have some really fast firing. I have had some jams with this gun though, which is a little bit of an issue for me, but other than that, I really like this gun. The Hammershot, this is one of my favorite guns out of the Nerf series because it's got the best range, some of the best accuracy out of most of the different guns, and it's very simple and small. It's very mobile, which is really nice. So out of these Zombie Strike guns, Sling Fire and Hammershot, definitely the winners. With each series, we're going to be having a rifle and a pistol winner. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you think that there's a different winner out of the Zombie Strike guns, definitely put it out below in the comments, because I'd like to know what you think is better out of the Zombie Strike guns. Stay tuned for the next episode. We're going to be doing the Mega Series next. We will be adding the Centurion for that because it is a 2013 gun. We didn't do it last year, so we're going to be including it for the 2014. So thank you guys so much for watching Nerf Reviews, and I will see you guys next time.